trying to get outside today. I don't know, I normally enjoy doing this stuff, so I figured I'd try to make a video. But I don't know, I think I might have some pointers. Maybe this video will be helpful to somebody. Yeah, this is gonna be hopefully a how to wheelie video. We'll see how it goes. So one of the issues I always see in every wheelie tutorial video is just trying to find balance point when you don't already know where it is. Like, yeah, everybody says just loop a couple times and you'll get it, you'll find it. But like, you don't want to loop, you know? Nobody wants to loop, but it's kind of what has to be done. Otherwise, going back, it just feels like you go back forever, and even though the balance point is back there, it doesn't feel like there's a balance point. It feels like you're just gonna fall. You don't want to be where you're gonna fall. That's where the brake comes in. You don't want to pop it up and try to chase into it, because then you're just gonna get good at chasers. You want to learn how to pop it straight up to balance point. And how I learned wheelies, that was on my moped and my 50. But both ways that I learned wheelies, I started with foot drag. The ground might be a little bit harder to start off with because it's heavier and it's taller than the pit bike. I'm sure. This grom is so twisted. Look at this. When you want to figure out where balance point is, you want to learn how to pop it straight up, pretty much to a loop. But you don't want to chase it. You want to keep your foot off the ground. You want to try to pop it up, and as it's coming up, you want to step off and try to like get it to land on the sub cage. I'm in first gear right now, left foot on the ground. I'm halfway off the C because I'm short. Might be what you have to do as well if you're short. I'm in first gear. Also, I've got a 57 tooth on, so that makes my situation a little bit more difficult. But for you, it should be the same. First gear. Don't do it in second. But you just want to pop it up and go straight back. Like that. And just get a feel for doing that if you can. It might seem difficult at first, but it's just something you got to get yourself to do. And once you do it, you'll realize it's not difficult. My foot stays on the ground the entire time, I believe. I guess it came off for a second when it was coming up, but then it goes right back on the ground. You got to pop it up and try to, if you don't get to that balance point, you're just going to chase it and go faster. And if you start going faster, just put it down. There's no point in chasing it out. Get straight up to balance point, and that's how you get it. That's how you always get it. See, I'm popping it up, grabbing the clutch, and then grabbing the handbrake. If you don't have a handbrake, you can use the foot brake as it's coming up. Like so. I'll not use the handbrake, only foot brake. Like that. Do it 40 times, 60 times if you have to. If you're sitting there every day learning how to chase wheelies, you might be getting better balance, but you're not really learning balance point or anything that's going to help you good. My frame is super twisted right now, so it makes this video super difficult. You just want to pop it straight up and clutch. And just get used to that. After you can get that down, just keep trying it, you know, just keep trying. Just keep doing it. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you so much. To be able to learn that the bike doesn't go that far back, like it makes it feel like it does. To be able to know that it doesn't helps so much. But after you get that down and you can do this comfortably, you just start dragging foot. Because here's where you don't want to go back into chasing wheelie, but you don't want to go, you're not trying to spin all the way around this time. I'm going to keep my foot on the ground, pop it up like we just were, but not step off. There you go. You just want to pop it up all the way. I'm dragging my foot right now. Helps a lot with your side-to-side balance. Helps you know how far back you are. And the bike tells you where balance point is. Right now I'm at balance point. Here, because I'm not chasing it out. But I'm not slowing it down anyway. That's past balance point. So I'm on the foot brake right now. I'm not really moderating the brake too much. I'm kind of just holding even pressure on it. Gliding on the brake isn't necessarily something you want to learn to keep doing. because that's how your brakes heat up and you catch brake fade, and then you have no brakes all of a sudden. But that is basic principles of it. You just want to pop it right up and then feel that balance point and just kind of try to stay at it. It's a weird thing to explain. You're going to learn to go against these instincts and be able to do this stuff. It took me 2 years to actually find balance point on anything. I chased wheelies for 2 years. And then I got my 50 in my moped, learned balance point on those, and then I got to the Grom, and it was first day on the Grom. I was doing as good as I am today. You want to pop it straight up, get on the brake, and try to keep it up. So like you pop it up just to that point where you can step off if you want to, but don't step off. Just drag your foot. 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the floor. If you can practice this and get this down, you'll have wheelies down in no time. This is how I learned everything. And you can do stupid things like step off if you want to too. So I'm at balance point. My foot's been on the ground the whole time. My other foot's been on the brake. At any point you can just step off. Alright, so you pick it up, and ideally you should be able to get wheelies down if you're able to do this foot drag technique. All you have to do is lift up your foot. And that does make you lose some balance. But side-to-side balance is one of the easier things to learn. Finding balance point is definitely the hardest. So let's see, you get this foot drag technique down. Dragging my foot. Not chasing my wheelie. Get this down and it'll help you tremendously, like crazy. When you're up in a wheelie, correlate it with purposely looping, like in the beginning of the video, so you know where your balance point is. That's what looping teaches you. So my foot's on the ground to tell me the distance in between me and the ground. And as I go back further, that distance gets a lot shorter. And that tells me when to step off. That tells me when it's okay. If you can get this foot drag technique down, it'll help a lot. Drag wheelie, I promise you, it's gonna change things drastically for your wheelie game. It's a scary thing to try to get your brain to let you do. Hitting balance point and everything, getting used to that, stepping off and everything. It's difficult to do. I'm not gonna disacknowledge that. It's true. For some people, maybe not so much if you're bigger built. But look, I'm the fucking size of like a 15-year-old kid, so it's different with me. Okay, things can be scary. That's all right. That's fine. Scary to learn new things sometimes for people. It's just the way it is. Doing this, everybody's capable. Finding balance point is the hardest part about it. Technique down, you can start lifting up your foot. It might be pretty difficult for you to lift up your foot from the foot drag because you're halfway up the seat. So one of the easier ways to do a wheelie without dragging your foot is going to be without having your foot on the ground to begin with, of course. It's just something you got to learn first. And then doing it with both feet up shouldn't be an issue. Doing the foot drag technique helps you learn where balance point is. And it's not like the distance between your foot and you when you're on the ground is significant. It does help a lot. But the biggest part of it is seeing where your The more you practice it, the more you'll get a feel for like where you should be in the air without your foot. Your foot should become a non-factor in it. And then you can do wheelies with both your feet up, like moving like this instead of from a stop. It's not necessarily more difficult to pick it up from a moving position like this, but it's not necessarily as easy, if that makes sense. That initial pickup, if you pull up to the side at all, it'll swing you to that side. So you have to be well balanced side to side, you know. Don't try to pick it up through a turn, because I mean, unless you're doing some dope supermoto shit. Alright, so let's think. What have I covered so far? Alright, so I covered bailing. You want to always be able to just pick it straight up to a bail. Get it down, get it down, get it down. The more you get it down, the more it's going to help you. And then same for the foot drag. Get it down, get it down, get it down. The more you get it down, the more it's going to help you in the long run. I don't know. Hopefully I helped somebody with this video. Hopefully there's some pointers in it that aren't in others. I just think the techniques for learning balance point are something that should be talked about more often. Instead of just everybody trying to find it by doing wheelies, that's how you end up looping from chasing a wheelie. So it's better to not learn to chase wheelies, because that's what fucks you up. You're like, oh, I know how to use foot brake, even though you think you do, until the time comes when you hit balance point and it scares you and you take your feet off and then you crash. That's how it happens. So you want to learn balance point. You want to learn that foot brake while you're up there. While you're learning to bail, while you're learning the foot drag, keep using that foot brake. Actually feel it. You know, if you're chasing out your wheelies, practicing, you're not getting it. You got to go straight up to 12, step off, you know, get that down first. And then you'll be golden, I promise that. If not, I will personally drive to your fucking house and go through these steps one by one with you, and I'll teach you how to wheelie in a day. After you get these few techniques down, you're gonna have so much fun with them. Anyway, I think that'll probably be it for this video. Hopefully this video has helped somebody out. Let me know in the comments what you think. If my advice is helpful towards you, let me know in the comments if it does help you. If you're able to watch this video and go out and practice these things, even if you're able to practice it, just let me know, you know? Let me know if these videos are worth it, or if I'm out here for no reason just making my own videos for me to rewatch.